What is going on, guys? Slickby here, and today, not really a requested video. I might have another video later on today, but this is just something that I felt like I needed to make. And I wanted to make more tutorial-esque videos. I used to do it a little bit in the past, and I feel like I've been straying away from that, which there's nothing wrong with it, but sometimes I feel like giving tips and tutorials and stuff like that. And, some of you guys might not want to listen to me, but the tutorials I want to start to do are specifically on top tier stuff. That's my niche. That's what I do. Is I love playing top tier tanks. I love playing, when I say top tier, I mean like tier 4, tier 5. And you guys know that. You guys know I love my leopard, but when I play a lot of leopard, I also encounter a lot of things, and one of those things is the IT1. Now I took this thing out today for very brief, 2 games. You'll see them in the background of this, but this video has a bigger purpose, and you clicked on it. What I want to talk about are ATGMs in general. I don't know exactly how I'm going to word this title, like why ATGMs are bad, or why they don't ruin the game, but why they cause trouble. And the thing with ATGMs is they're almost like a better version of the tank. Like they're the next evolution. It's almost like taking a propeller aircraft and then you put the jet next to it, right? And that's almost what it's like. You get these normal MBTs and then you get the ATGMs, and they're like in a heightened sense of the word. And now, yes, some MBTs do things better than the ATGMs. And the ATGMs do have problems. They're not perfect vehicles. But they do a lot of things that normal tanks cannot. What you're watching right now is me and a Raketen Jagdpanzer 2 Hot go back and forth from behind cover where none of our tank is visible. All he sees is my missile, all I see from him is his missile. And we're just fucking launching launching rockets back and forth. That's how this works. And see, when you encounter a normal tank, they have to stick a portion of their vehicle out to be hit. With these ATGMs, they can only get away with putting a periscope and a missile up. And this causes problems for the normal tanks because they cannot hit them. You can shoot over cover and stuff like that. And, I thought it was a cool idea when it was introduced, but ATGMs really do pose a big, big problem in top tier matchmaking. It's different when it's unguided. You take a vehicle like the STRV, and it has missiles, but they're unguided. And when I say they're unguided, they're guided by WASD. And, it takes a degree of skill to use them. That doesn't happen with an IT1 or a Swingfire. The Swingfire is very different compared to the Raketen Jagdpanzer 2 Hot and the IT1 because of the fact that it has a minimum engagement range and such. But for all intents and purposes, they are very easy to aim and to shoot with. And that is the biggest issue, is you can shoot people and hit people without being seen, without being hit yourself. That's the absolute biggest problem that I have with ATGMs. Now, there are some other issues too which make them a little bit overpowered. And when I say a little bit, I mean can we deal with them? Yes. But I really do wish that there was a way to turn off playing against ATGMs. And the reason for that is I feel like we have such cool vehicles in this game, and we could utilize them in such cool ways, and we never get the chance to because there's always these things afoot. For example, I got on Korea the other day for the first time, and I was super excited, super excited to play Korea. But I was playing it at a top tier matchmaking. And then I drove out of my spawn and got Raketen Jagdpanzer 2 Hot straight to the face immediately, and I was dead. And that was my game. And I was super excited to play that map. I've been waiting since the patch dropped. I have never gotten it in the raw queue. While I was playing the object today, I got on Mozdok, which used to be one of my favorite maps because of the sniping potential. Now what it is you duck and cover until you can get close enough to the ATGMs so they have to show their weak spots. It creates this obstacle that you have to play around. That's what the ATGMs do in this game. They create a hassle, an obstacle that you have no choice but to go around. You'll be watching the background footage. I don't know where exactly I'm going to put it, but me and 2 other IT1s are just peppering an M103 from across Eastern Europe. The M103 has enough trouble as it is fighting leopards or T-62s, or, you know, it doesn't get its actual joules on its gun. It doesn't have the power that it really did in real life. It gets this heat that, you know, does all right, and it has a long reload time, and it has armor that doesn't really matter because you get hit with cheat FS. And I say cheat FS, but I think heat should still be in the game. Don't think I'm saying that, but that tank has enough trouble dealing with the normal top tier tanks as it is, let alone trying to get into a position of power so he can snipe or do something, and he's just getting hit with ATGMs across the map. So I think it limits the map capability, it limits your tank's ability when there are ATGMs on the killing floor, on the battlefield. You really can't do a lot of things that you want to do. And I mean, from an ATGM player's perspective, I played them today and I was bored. I'm gonna be honest, I was bored. Now, this isn't to like roast any of you guys who enjoy playing your ATGMs. I'm sure it is fun watching people fucking suffer, but at the same time, like, you watch me on Eastern Europe and I just sit on the hill, and I could have just sat on the hill the entire time, but I decided to drive out and I got killed. But you could have just sat on the hill the entire time. I could have went 1-0. I would have the best KD possible if I just sat on that hill. Because who's really going to sneak up on me, you know what I mean? It's possible technically, but, you know, that's the thing that I'm saying. It's like, it's a very passive play, and you dictate and you hurt how everybody else plays on the battlefield because you are what you are. So this was kind of a rant, but this is just my 2 cents on ATGMs. And the reason I'm mentioning it now, out of everything, is because I've just been noticing a lot more recently just how broken it is when you get hit by a tank that you can't see. And I'm going to put in the background footage too. I spawned in as the ZSU, and you can see me getting hit by a Raketen Jagdpanzer II, the one with the WASD mouses. All you see of his tank is the periscope, and he's launching these over the hill. And it is really, really saddening that is a thing. So what you're going to say, Slick, is, okay, what, you're just going to bitch to us? We all know this already. What do I propose be done about ATGMs? And listen to this. This is my idea. So the way I would fix ATGMs, it honestly makes sense to me. So you let me know in the comments if you have any other ideas. But what I think is there should be a ticker, like a little check pad, before you queue into a game, and it says ATGM vehicles allowed or disallowed, right? So if you click it, you get ATGM vehicles in your games. If you unclick it, you don't get ATGM vehicles in your game. If you have an ATGM vehicle in your lineup, it automatically puts you in the ATGM queue. So how's that sound? I think that would fix it, because there's enough ATGM players. Now, I know this would split technically the top tier community, but I do think it would find its rhythm. I think there's enough people who play ATGMs to get ATGM only games. And I also think there are enough people who hate ATGMs enough to get non-ATGM games. And I also think that if that was a feature, a lot more people would come back from the lower tiers back to their top tier beloved tanks, because they got sick of getting shot across the map. So I don't know about you guys, but I just think that is possibly one of the only solutions that makes sense to me without removing vehicles from the game that people spent time grinding. And I agree that that wouldn't be fair. You know, people have spent time and money and effort grinding these vehicles, and they want to use them. And that's fine, I get that. That shouldn't be taken away. But I do think that the players who don't like this feature shouldn't have to deal with it. Because, yeah, there's a lot of people playing top tier, but I wonder how many people actually quit playing top tier because of these things. I would assume it's quite a lot. Well, regardless, let me know in the comments down below. We're going to start this, I guess, this discussion series. I don't know what to call it, really. The next video I'm thinking about doing is talking about how to play top tier matchmaking. What are the best ways to play top tier? You know, just tips and tricks to what you should do when you get into top tier and stuff like that. So just little things that helped me out when I started playing. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.